My god, cold Domino's pizza is... I don't know if it's better than hot Domino's pizza, but it's almost as good, if not. Very good indeed. Spent last night watching a film called Troll 2, which is infamously known as the worst film ever made. I would agree with that. It's absolutely terrible. And it's actually so bad that it actually makes it good, if that makes any sense at all, but... yeah, I was watching that with my housemates, eating some Domino's pizza, as you do, and, you know, I went to bed. I was thinking to myself for a while, as you do, trying to get to sleep, and one topic I thought of for this next COD commentary would be the whole kind of notion that human beings are not really that different from any other animal in the animal kingdom, any other living thing, whatever. And you could argue that human beings were, well, a lot of people hold the belief that human beings were created by God to be superior to animals, and that, you know, we didn't actually evolve from animals because human beings evolving from some common ancestor with primates would be ridiculous. You can believe whatever you want. I'm not going to question anyone's beliefs. But the point is, every human being will still have these kind of animalistic instincts, if you like. When it boils down to it, we are just mammals. We show all the regular mammal things, like we are warm-blooded, we have kids, we have a social environment, like, we are just mammals when you think about it. No matter how far we develop in the future, no matter what version of iPhone comes out in the future, we are still just going to be mammals. And I was looking up on the internet the 7 signs of life. I was thinking back to my biology lesson, and I was thinking, oh, movement, there's growth, there's excretion, what are the other ones? And I couldn't remember, so I'm just going to read it off the webpage now. Movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion, and nutrition. Now, I can safely say that everyone has done all of those things today, except perhaps reproduction. If not, you can at least trick your body into thinking you're reproducing. That's the key. But the point is, every living being shows these things. Like every... I think there's also an 8th thing, which I forget what it is, but those 7 things definitely, every living thing shows them, because they're a sign of life. And when it comes down to it, it does kind of show the similarities between human beings and every other animal in the world. I mean, we share, what, 90-something% DNA with monkeys, because obviously we descended from the same kind of ancestors. And like I was saying, despite our progression as a race in terms of social, technological advances, whatever, there's been a lot of cases where human beings have, when the situation calls for it, reverted back to their kind of primal instincts. And a good example of this, which I've had personal experience with, is if anyone's ever been to a psychologist about anxiety problems, right? When you go to them, you say, I'm feeling pretty anxious, help me, what should I do? They'll say to you, oh well, anxiety is just a primal instinct thing, it's just you reverting back to your ancestors' genes, where they say, oh, they see a wolf and they get really scared, their heart rate increases, they start breathing heavily, they want to run. Being in that situation myself many a time as a kid, I can sympathize fully with that. You get those exact feelings. You get the feeling like you want to run away from some huge, like, axe murder man who's coming to kill you. It's hard to describe unless you've had the feeling yourself, but I imagine some of you guys will have had that same feeling, so you can sympathize. But the point is, it's a primal thing. There may be no actual threat, and you know it in your mind. You know, thinking about it logically, there is no threat. But your body believes there is, so subconsciously you activate this kind of inner beast, if you like. That makes it sound a lot cooler than it actually is, but there's also been stories of, you know, mothers who have seen their baby trapped under a car, and they've lifted these ridiculous heavy cars. They've just suddenly developed this superhuman Hulk strength and just beasted and just lifted this car up and rescued the baby. And, you know, people around are going, what is this woman on? I want some of that, you know? It's crazy. I don't know if this is actually true or not, but I can actually believe some of these stories because it does activate some kind of inner beast within you. And it's kind of cool because, like I was saying, we are just animals when it boils down to it. But what I was thinking was, how far would your human instinct go? Because you will do anything to, I imagine, protect your family. Like, if you see a friend in trouble, you'll go and help them, whatever. It's a natural thing. You want to protect what you love, your own home even. Animals are very territorial, a lot of them. You look at lions or something, if you try and invade their territory, try and drink out of their water, they will not be impressed. Same thing with humans, it's the exact same thing. And the question I was going to ask you guys, just as kind of a little survey thing, it comes back to a question my grandma was actually talking about over some family Christmas dinner a couple of years ago. And she basically said, if one of your members of family was under attack, like your girlfriend, your daughter, your brother, whatever, if this loved one was under attack by some crazy murderer or whatever, would you be able to kill this person in order to save your family or whatever friend's life? Would you be able to put yourself in that position to actually kill them if that was what was necessary to do in order to protect them? Me personally, I would have no problem whatsoever with this because, you know, I'm very strongly believing in an eye for an eye kind of thing. And yeah, you just kind of, you get in there before they do it basically. But yeah, the point is, I'd be happy doing that because, you know, if you love someone, you got to try and protect them. But she said, yeah, she'd be happy just killing people who were, you know, someone broke into a house, tried to attack her, I don't know, granddaughter or whatever. She'd happily kill them, and I agree with her. I would happily do the same thing in that situation. It's not something anyone wants to do, but if it comes down to it, your human instinct needs to kick in, and in that situation, a lot of people probably would do the same thing. So let me know what you think. Bit of a weird ending discussion topic thing, but I'm just curious to see what you guys think, what you would do in that kind of situation. So, with that being said, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.